Hi everyone, wanted to make a short video of events in the world today. Just remember my second language is English, so I'll try my best. I wanted to talk about Revelation 20 again, just quickly pointing out that it seems that everything in the world that's happening now is moving towards the fulfillment of Revelation 20 verse 8. Revelation 20 verse 8, and will go out to deceive the nations. It talks about Lucifer. He will deceive the nations. We are living in that time period now, and that are on the which is just all over the earth, the whole earth. And Gog of Magog, which refers to Russia. On old maps you'll see I've got a video on this. Gog of Magog refers to Russia. To gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand of the sea. Now this is busy fulfilling this verse. And if you understand this verse correctly, then you'll know that Lucifer is deceiving the world, and he's going to use Russia to conquer many nations so that they can do verse 9. They went up from the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city, and fire came down from Yahuwah out of heaven and devoured them. So that Russia in the future can use these armies of all these nations that they conquered and surround the camp of the Israel believers, the real Israelites that will gather with the second Exodus. They're not going to gather in the fake Israel. They're going to gather, as I show in my videos, in South Africa, and as the Bible seems to point to. And this is what's going to happen after Russia conquers many nations. Now, I'm watching a lot of videos. I like to stay updated on world events, but I don't look at the news or newspapers that you have out there that everybody buys or reads. I look at other channels that I believe is more accurate on what actually happens, because of course the bad guys controls the main media. So you'll have to do research and find proper channels that actually looks at what really happens. Otherwise you will never know what's really going on in the world. I'm going to mention a few of these channels that I look at, but I go listen to many other channels too. But what I've noticed with these this information is that everything seems to head in that direction of Gog of Magog conquering many nations so that they can in future surround the camp of the believers. The believers that will flee from those nations that Gog of Magog conquers. They will flee from those places to one location, which is called the second Exodus. So these two events will happen at the same time, as Russia attacks the nations where there are a lot of Israelites, true descendants of Abraham, of Israel, physical descendants, which is basically the Western nations, or the nations where you have a lot of Caucasians. As the Bible says, I've done a video on this, that the Bible shows that Israel were white, Caucasian. So these are the nations that's going to get conquered by Gog of Magog. Now Gog of Magog is descended from Japhet, and yes, today Putin fulfilled the role of Gog. Like I said in another video, that this territory is in Russia on old maps, Gog of Magog. Now I've shown it in another video. So channels that you can look at is, for instance, this Dialogue Works, very informative, good information. He's interviewing a lot of different people on subjects of what's happening in the world and with the wars. And what is, I believe, it looks like he's got a pulse, his hand on the pulse of what's really happening. Another a good video channel that History Legends. He mostly focused more on the Ukraine-Russia war. Also good information if you really want to know what's happening in the war. But a good channel that also gives you good updates is this guy, Canadian prepper. Yes, he's got also good information on what's happening in the world, or rather with the wars, and with other things. Another good channel to look at. But there's many others I also listen to. But like I said, what I've noticed is the Western world seems to be much weaker than the BRICS nations at the moment. Mostly the BRICS nations, not all the small nations. I'm talking about the big nations that's part of the BRICS, which is Russia, China, mostly them two, and then you've got your smaller ones like India and some of the Muslim nations. They seem to be more prepared for war and to conquer many nations. And of course we know, or rather I've noticed that Gog of Magog will fight some of these nations like America with the help of the BRICS nations. They won't go at it on their own. They will have the help of China and Muslim nations. And so yes, that's also in the pipeline to be fulfilled. And when I look at all this and the way things are, in which direction it's heading, it's very, very clear to me that we are definitely in Revelation 20, and that Gog of Magog is busy preparing to conquer many nations, not just Ukraine, many other nations. And that after that, of course, during that time, the second Exodus happens, and after that they will surround the camp of where those Israelite believers gathered and try to attack them, and then Yahuwah will return for the last and final time. Yahushua will return for the third time. So we are right at the end of the Bible, and things are quickly coming to an end, being fulfilled. Not a lot of time left for this world, for this earth, until we will have a new heaven and a new earth, people. We're not waiting for the Great Tribulation. That's been done and dusted. And of course, then the Millennial Kingdom also happened. We are in the short season of deception now, in Revelation 20. And I can see, like I said, I can see that we are there in that chapter of Revelation. Because when you look at all this information you get from channels like these, and there are a few others, you notice that yes, it's all set and ready to be fulfilled, and that the Russia and China and a few other nations will conquer these Israelite nations, and the remnant of Israel will flee to South Africa in the future. Yes, it's exciting times, also for a lot of those countries, very bad times. You need to have your relationship with Yahuwah needs to be on point. Yes, you need to be able to listen and hear from Yahuwah when He wants you to move out of where you are, in Europe and even America. And also be able to hear where He wants you to go. Like I said, in the end, it will be South Africa, the remnant. But at the moment, they are not. They are controlled by the communists, communist parties, and it's not a very safe place either. I believe in future, very soon, Yahuwah is going to give control back to the right people in South Africa, so that they can prepare for the coming of these other Israelite remnant. And yes, a lot of them already knows that this is going to happen, because it's been prophesied by a South African prophet in the 1900s, and up to 1920, I think. So that's what I wanted to mention here. I can see these things drawing to a close, events, and that Revelation 20 is busy being fulfilled. It's amazing, and yes, enjoy your day.